Well, now, often people feel stressed or uncomfortable. They may feel like a salesperson and they hold back, say, well, I don't want to come off like a salesperson. What do you have to say to that?
Well, first of all, that's very pervasive. That's probably the main reason 95% of the people do not have success and make much money. And less than 5% do. Not because the product isn't good or the pay plan, it's because they're too much outside their comfort zone, and it's just too stressful to be feeling like a salesperson and concerned how people might perceive them. And so to avoid that emotional pain and play it safe, well, we just won't play in the game, or just a little bit, so we don't get hurt, supposedly. So one of the ways to counteract that, and I think the most elegant way, is I come from this model that I actually discovered about 14 years ago. I call it the 4 dimensions of diamond love. And once you understand this, you can apply it in any situation, and it can reduce or eliminate your stress or concern, your anxiety about what people think. So it may sound like I'm on a tangent here, but this is really the most important thing I can tell you. It's become my life message. The problem with the word love is most people don't really know what it means. It's been downgraded to mean you like something. You love pizza, you love ice cream, you love your car, you love whatever. And when you have such a superficial idea of what love means, it's hard to fully be loving. And what this business really is about is loving people. So what does it mean to love people? So I discovered 4 distinctions, 4 dimensions of love. That's really sort of the clue is really in the Bible. It talks about loving God with all of our heart, soul, strength, and mind. So what's the difference between loving with our heart versus our soul versus our strength versus our mind? There's 4 distinctions. And once you identify what those distinctions are, then you can more consciously and deliberately be loving in each of those 4 ways, because you need all 4. So in my opinion, loving from, and it comes out with 4 C's, so it's pretty easy to remember. So the 4 dimensions of love, loving from your heart, soul, strength, and mind, is caring. That's loving from your heart. That's the most obvious. Loving from your soul, that's the connecting dimension. Loving with all of your mind, that's the commitment element. And loving with all your strength, that's the creating value. Those are the 4 C's: caring, connecting, committing, and creating value. So in the situation where you feel uncomfortable talking to people because you're concerned how they might judge you, or whatever, when you look at the situation from this perspective, with this model, I say, so am I a caring person? Do I care about this person? I'm doing them a favor. I'm not asking you for a loan. I'm here to save their life or help them. So when you sort of reorient your thinking that this is an action of love and caring, okay, so that really helps. Secondly, the loving from your soul, that's the connecting. And so this is what we do. We connect with people, starting with asking questions, finding out what their problems are. What are the concerns? People hate problems. So don't assume they need this product. Tell them or ask them, hey, what's going on? I mean, do you have any concerns? Do you have any medication? Do you have any, are you sleeping okay? Do you have enough energy? Do you have any pain? So find out what the problems are. And then so after you connect on an emotional level, because people hate problems, so meet them where they're at, find out what the problems are, then say, would you be open to a possibility may help you address some of these problems? So I think I have a pretty unique solution that might help you. And so then you present your solution, but you got to connect. You have to have some rapport and connect with them where they're at with their concerns and problems. The third C, the third dimension, commitment. With your mind, you commit. So you got to be clear, you're committed to helping people. This isn't just about making money. You're here to make a difference, to enrich their lives, to make a $1 million difference, right? Not just make $1 million, but make $1 million difference for them. We're here to help and serve people. This is how we love people. And so just coming from that mindset, that attitude, that mentality, that frequency, that energy, they feel that. They feel that you're there for them, not to use them, but to help them, to be there as a servant, to help them. And of course, the fourth C is creating value. We're here to be creators, to create value for them. And I believe when someone uses these extraordinary products, we're creating tremendous value. So why would you withhold that from somebody when you know how good this is? I mean, that's not right. They deserve to know about this. So it's not loving to withhold valuable information. If you have the cure for cancer, wouldn't you think you should tell people? Now, this isn't a cure for anything, but it empowers the body to optimize self-healing. So when you look at the situation from this perspective, these four dimensions of who you really are, because deep down we all are loving people, but if we are more conscious of those four distinctions, loving with all of our heart, with the caring, all of our soul, that's the connecting, loving with our mind, that's the committing, and you may even say something about, hey, I'm really committed to help any way I can, and then creating value, that's loving with all of our strength, that's the action part of love. So when you come from that perspective, it pretty much can eliminate your stress and anxiety and concern. Here's a quick little story to illustrate this sort of dramatically. Let's say you're up on 20 stories in a skyscraper, and there's another skyscraper close by, and there's a board across it. And someone says, hey, I'll give you $100 if you walk across that board. Are you kidding me? How about $1,000, $1 million? There's no way, And then all of a sudden, this criminal is at the other building, and he has your grandchild or your child. He says, hey, lady, I'm going to drop this kid if you're not over here in 30 seconds. What's going to happen? You'll be there, right? Okay, because now you see what's at stake. You see the importance of doing what you need to. So now all of a sudden your commitment went from 0 up to 100%, because when the why is strong enough, the how will take care of itself. And so when we adopt that attitude, that mindset, we're empowered, we become unstoppable. And so instead of failure becoming the default setting as it is for most people, we can make success inevitable. So now it's just a matter of time. I call it the FBI formula. Freedom becomes inevitable. And the other version of that is failure becomes impossible. But you have to be empowered. And the four dimensions of love, I think, is the most empowering dynamic I've ever come across. And you can use it in your marriage, in relationships with your children, business, spiritually, in every arena. So that's one of the ways you address that concern.
Wow, Ray, I've never heard it put that way before. To makes you live with a fire of purpose, makes you make a decision, and it takes away fear of loss, because you're there thinking they're the other person, trying to serve them. So there is no loss. My goodness, that is just wonderful. And it just takes down our hesitancy or our limitations, so we cannot help but forge ahead, because there is no loss. We only uplift others, and we only create value. Fabulous, Ray. I love it. Now,
yeah, the only loss would be if you keep your mouth shut. You're depriving them. So everyone deserves to know. And one of the lines I like to use, I'll throw it in right here, is I always say the only reason every doctor isn't already putting all their patients on this because they just don't know about this. The only reason you're not using this is you just didn't know about it, or you didn't know what it could do for you. So everyone deserves to know about this, because this is too good. I mean, so anyway.
Powerful. It reverse engineers. So our psychology realizes we're doing a disservice to somebody if we're not reaching out. I love it. Look.